Hello everyone, welcome to day number 5 of the Superbet Chess Classic 2022 in Romania. In this round, we only have one decisive game out of the 5 matches. Courtesy of Caruana, winning over Mamedyarov. With this loss, Shaq now is in the bottom of the standings. And also, it's a good win for Caruana after losing his game yesterday against cellar-dweller. So it's a good bounce back win for Fabi. But that only shows his fighting character. Some players would feel bad after losing a game and subsequently will lose another game. But not in the case of Fabi. Let's check it out. Then for e4, Shaq e5, knight f3, knight f6. Okay, we have the Petrov or the Russian game. Knight takes e5, d6, knight f3, knight takes e4. Caruana went for d4 here. In one of his games, he also plays the move knight c3. The Nimzovich variation, if you takes on c3, bishop e7. We go bishop e3, castles, queen d2, and we will have this opposite sides castling. But this time, Caruana went for d4. d5, bishop into d3, bishop e7, castles, bishop f5, rook e1, castles, knight bd2, pressure on e4, plus a pin on the bishop and f5. Knight d6 is forced, because if you take that knight on d2, white gets the pair of bishops. Better for white, of course. Knight d6, we have knight f1. This also looks like a Berlin, with the only open file, the e file. Takes, c6, bishop f4, developing its last piece. Knight into a6. Okay. If black goes to d7, this is also a possibility. White could go for a4 here and then just rook e8. But Mami wants to play knight a6, go to knight c7, and probably knight e6. Yeah. It's also, of course, playable. h4, all right, the right moment. Bishop, of course, cannot take the pawn on h4 because the queen is an overworked piece on d8. Take on h4, for example, this takes it, and if you take, you lose your knight on d6. So it's not possible to take that pawn. The pawn on h4 helps the knight to go to g5 or the bishop to g5. Knight goes to c7, knight g5, g6. Okay, the knight and the queen was actually attacking the h7 pawn, threatening mate. g6, knight into h2. Okay, possible threat would be knight g4, queen d7, preventing knight on g4. But actually, this is a novelty. They were following a game by Mamedyarov. In that game, Mamedyarov went for f6. And Mamedyarov lost piece with rook takes e7 and then f3. And white went on to win the game. Okay, here queen d7, h5, takes, rook f8, series of exchange, takes. Bishop f6 with this dark square weakness. Now with the bishop on f6. Going also to e5. White is slightly better with that dark square weakness on the king. Takes on e1, takes on e1. Rook e8, rook f1. Very nice. Nice to keep the rook here. At the same time, the rook is also blocking the way of the knight to go to e8 to attack that bishop. Knight a6. Not too sure about this move. Maybe Mamedyarov was worried about bishop e5 attacking his knights. and queen to a3 with an attack on a7 and knight on d6. And that's part of the reason why he went knight a6 to maybe prevent the threat on a7, blocking the queen a3 to a7. Bishop e5, queen e6. Here Caruana went for f4, but a stronger alternative here would be queen g3. The threat, of course, is to take the knight and also queen h4. If knight goes to e4, this queen h4, f6, and this good and strong move f3, driving away the knight. Now you're forced to take the bishop because there's take on f6. If you take, takes on e4, rook f6 is coming. Go rook f8, takes. And now you're going to punish that knight a6 move because queen takes b7 is coming, attacking the knight on a6. This should be winning for white. And for example, if here knight goes to f5 to attack the queen, then queen g5. The knight now will go g4 here, and then f6. Definitely winning for white also. f4. Okay. Knight into b8. It was a bad knight. Queen a3. Hitting the knight on d6. Sorry, hitting the knight on d6, and also the pawn on a7. Knight into e4. f5. Breaking the structure in front of the king. Takes queen h3, threatening mate on h8, forcing the move f6. Takes f5, nice move. The pawn cannot take the bishop because queen g4 is coming and it should be mate or you lose a queen after rook h5. So knight d7, bishop into f4, king f8, queen a3 check. Okay. Caruana doesn't want to exchange his queen, so he checked first and intermediate check and move away the rook. a6, queen b3. All right, weakening the structure. So b6 is a bad structure now for black. Only then queen f3. Oh, it's nice. Rook h8, nice little detail over there. This queen b3 move. Attacking the pawn. If, let's say, black goes to b5, you can try queen a3 once again, yeah. So b6, queen f3, h8 takes, queen h5. Queen g8, not so sure about queen g6. Caruana can just go knight g4 straight away here, yeah. King f8. Knight h6, let's say king goes to e7, we have knight f5. Because after this one, we have queen h8, you go queen e8, bishop c7 wins on the spot, yeah? Distracting the king, you get a free queen. This is a bit slow, yeah, the attack is slow with king g6. Knight g4, king e7, this is different, knight h6, king d8. Okay, he gained time with gaining time with knight f7 and back, and knight f5. But now there's king c8. Yeah, the king can escape to b7. So a big difference from moving the knight on g4 straight away here. King f8, knight, king h8. Winning. But anyways, this is still better for black because of the position of the king. Knight h6, knight f7, knight back, queen g4, queen h3, stable square for the queen with the protection of the pawn. Queen to e8, queen h7, takes, and now the pawn is a target. You don't worry about the perpetual because the knight is taking away the h4 square, so no queen e1 to h4. King h2, queen into d2. Check. Okay, as they say, the king is safe with the knight behind it, yeah. But the problem here is that there are weak squares yeah, on the king's position. You know, like you have d6 is a weak square, strong knight on f5. c6 is also a target with ideas of knight into e7. So the surrounding squares are weak for the king. So even if the knight is defending the king, this combination of queen and knight, of course, is more dangerous than this uncoordinated queen and knight here. King c7, queen d6, king d8, now knight e7. The weak pawn on c6. Once the pawn on c6 falls, everything falls. d5 will also fall. And you don't have that shield for the king anymore. Knight takes c6. Okay, thanks to the knight, you're still okay. But now it's gaining time. But again, the idea was to just go for knight takes d5. There's no perpetual. King, queen a7. Caruana is very precise in his calculation. King g1 is correct. And now king h2 gaining time once again. That's plus 30 seconds. And then when the opponent checks, there's another 30 seconds. So that's 1 minute. So that's a good extra time for you to use towards the end of the game. King into f2, queen c2. If you take the pawn on b2, then king g3. You don't have any checks. Yes, because the queen a3 is covering. And now you're going to be checkmated or you lose your knight. Let's say, for example, you go back to b5 to protect that knight. Okay, I'll put my king into safety first on h2, and you run out of moves. You can move like, maybe the only move here is a5, then queen e6. I'm threatening mate on g8. What do? If you go king into c8, strong move a4, yeah. Because if you take on a4, of course, knight takes b6, the pin and the double attack. Combination of two basic tactics, pin and fork. Where's the queen going? Okay, let's say the queen moves. The queen moves away, you lose your knight. Yes, the knight is taking away c7. That's going to be checkmate. Okay, so queen c2 check, king into e3, nice one. Queen c1, king d3. A very good pawn on d4, taking away these important squares. King c8, queen e6. All right, point is queen e8 and take the knight. So queen check, king c3, queen c1, king b3, king a3, queen d3, b3. Okay, the queen goes to b5 to protect that knight on d7. But now king b2. And here, black resigned. Okay, the only way to continue now, white's threat is this move, a4, removing the defender on d7 right here. And if the queen moves, we have queen e8 and take the knight. Now, if the king goes to b7, for example, white has knight e7. This queen is protecting the important e2 square, so there's no check. Again, a4 is coming. So the knight has to go back to b8. Queen e4 check. If the king goes to a7, it's going to be checkmate on c8. So only move here would be king c7, and now knight d5. Let's say you go b7 back. Queen goes h7. Yes. Or even a simple way here is just to go for a4. To go for a4. You have an extra pawn. It's an extra pawn. 4 for 3. Queen c6, and we just take. Knight with an extra pawn, of course, it's winning for the one with that extra. King takes this knight b4, yeah, and then king c3, activate your king, go to the other pawn. So it will be 2 pawns down for black here. Knight e7 is already waiting for white. So after king b2, Mamedyarov had enough. He resigned. He didn't want to suffer more. Yeah, he doesn't want to prolong his agony. And that was a good bounce back win for Fabi after again losing his game yesterday against Graf. Mamedyarov now is in the bottom of the standings, losing twice, one USD, and now with Fabi. Okay, tomorrow will be rest day, so we will continue to cover the Superbet Chess Classic on Wednesday for round number 6. So last 4 games. Wesley had a draw today against Caruana. It was a quick draw. Okay, they exchanged all their pieces with, okay, there were bare kings left. There were some exciting draws. Firuza against Bogdan Deyak was also a draw. And the other match, Dominguez was also drawn. So that was it. It's only Fabi who won for today. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting our channel, Charles Smash Chess, Charles Smash Entertainment on Facebook and YouTube. This is Coach Oliver. Stay safe, everyone.